Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Town of Highgate regular select board meeting for Thursday, December 18th, 2025. First item up is a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tag or stick it up.
Next up is public comment. Do you have any public comment?
I know, she's not here.
What? Oh, yeah.
All right, here we
We're not
go.
gonna get no Christmas message from Sue. I feel robbed.
All right, first item up is the opening of the RFP for demolition services. Pass these down.
There's one.
How many we got?
It could be a 6.
6 total.
Stuck in that thing.
Oh, it's one for everybody. Should be one for everybody in this one. This one is, did I give you one already? No. This one's Chad's.
Pass them down and take them.
That one, pass that one to Ron.
Got it. Yep, I don't have that one.
You don't. Yeah, one's for Chad, that's not here. One is Menards.
You don't have that.
I have
Good Hugh, I think I do have that one.
Goodhue, but you already had that.
Yep, I got that one.
And this one is Tanner's.
You got good humor.
Yep.
There's some tanners on the wall too.
Tanner's is not on there. Toby Tanner. You didn't sign in, Moses? I know you weren't there, so.
I
Wasn't there, I don't know.
No, I'm looking at her.
I was there and I repeated it.
So the list that I have is Gillette, FRL, Menards, Goodhue, Tanner. and
What's that?
Yeah, Cameron.
Gillette, FRL, Menards, Goodhue, Tanner, Colby Tanner.
Tanner's not on here.
Okay, yep, I don't have that one yet.
Tanner didn't say that.
Is there another one that I'm missing?
Kings.
Kings.
Tanner's. Tanner. Tanner.
So there's supposed to be 6?
6 total.
Also working Cody Jetty. Jetty excavation.
I got, yeah, so must be this is Cody Jetty. I'm kind of confused on that one. You have jetties?
I don't see one for Jetty. But Tanner, who's the point of contact on that?
Kobe.
Cody
Not
Tanner.
Cody.
Another extra road.
Did not include the certificate of insurance. Have a copy of the RFP.
I don't have one on me, but I can. I think I have it on the screen.
I don't see certificates of insurance in any of them. This one does.
Wendy must have had it set to expire.
What's that?
I said Wendy must have had it set to expire on the website. 'Cause I don't have it
Okay.
on the website. I can't email you guys copies, I'll keep them after the meeting.
I don't know where mine's from.
What's that?
They said I'm looking for the RFP so that we can.
Wendy said she took it off the website after the deadline.
Fair enough.
That's what I was looking at too.
Yeah. She's telling me.
Did we get a copy in the email at least, didn't we?
If not, I can absolutely get you one.
I just want to make sure we're following the standard of the RFP. And we have two that showed their insurance information.
If they said that they can reduce it upon request,
That counts.
you really would have to double check that before any contract anyway, so.
No, we do have to have the insurance for all of them.
I mean, if they have the insurance, they have the insurance. I mean, it'd be pretty clear.
Okay.
But she just reactivated it under announcements,
She did.
so it's on the website.
It also just emailed it to you. So there's the full RFP that was posted, and then there's also question responses, and then some additional information. So the Steinhauer analysis, some of the environmental inspection reports, a number of things, because there's a number of reports about the property associated with it, so.
I'm gonna start reading. I'm gonna start reading them, so I can move on.
You just want to read through the totals, or what are you trying?
Well, we have to do the separation of the properties and the combination of the properties. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have the Gilmet Handyman Services RFPs. They will remove everything that we asked for on the RFP, which includes asbestos. Total price bid is $77,500, and that is for the St. Armand Road.
The asbestos is removed by the town prior to demolition.
Right. That's what he's saying. The demo was removed after the asbestos. We require 50% down to begin the project. The balance due 15 days of completion. The proposals valid through 2026. The proposal for the demolition of the house, the garage, and the shed at 28 Mill Hill. Per the RFP, total bid price of $41,500. Require 50% down, 50% remaining balance, 15 days completion of the job. Valid through 2026. And then total price for both proposals is $114,000, includes $5,000 discount for awarding both proposals to Gilmet. Both properties will not have to be done at the same time for the discount to take effect. The demo will begin after receiving deposit down payment and asbestos report. Will require 50% down, 50% at balance within 15 days. Proposal go through 2026. Certificate of liability is included. Somebody want to take another one?
You want to, Richie?
Yeah. Good Hill excavation,
Good,
but,
Good Hugh?
yeah, Good Hill. Option A, 28 Mill Hill Road only, $39,550. Option B, St. Armand Road only, $96,400. Option C, both properties at the same time, $135,950. Bid includes all work described in the RFP. Insurance information and any other paperwork can be provided if our bid is chosen. Anything else? Well, that's about it.
You good?
Good, yep.
All right, I got Patrick Menard of Menard Handyman and Property Services out of Swanton. It looks like everybody broke down, and I think it's for the RFP, each property and then a combined. So for 28 Mill Hill, he's offering to demo, removal, dispose, and backfill of materials for $40,000. For 14 St. Armand Road, exact same work to be done for $95,000. And if he does both properties at the same time, $135,000 even. And this got handed to me, so I don't know if there's more in the package, but I don't see any insurance certificate or anything like that. It's just a basic quote.
It's all that,
Okay.
it does not show when the bid is valid to either.
No.
We've got first response labor here. Very descriptive. Option A is the demolition of 28 Mill Hill only. 18,500.
It's the second one, it's 34.
Oh, is it? Oh, 34,700. Yeah, $34,700. Option B, 14 St. Armand Road.
96. It's a barn, it's 96. Unless that's the boat.
$96,000 for that one. Option C for both properties is $130,700. They have their insurance information attached.
We have King's Truckin', option A, Mill Hill only, 27.5. Option B, St. Armand only, 79,000. Mill Hill and St. Armand, 92.5. Certificate is insurance is attached, but also does not show when the bid is valid to.
Tanner's excavation and tree removal. 28 Mill Hill only, $30,000. 14 St. Armand only, $70,000. A total of $100,000, and that's it. They don't have no insurance.
They do say.
Can you
they
repeat the
fully-
name, Richard?
Tanner,
Tanner?
yeah, Tanner's.
Thank you.
I've got it and I've sent it to Wendy, by the way.
Okay.
And all follow the procedure of being on site,
Except for Tanner,
except for Tanner's, unless they signed in as the
it's a
excavation.
different
Okay.
town, so they're out of Montgomery. That is
You're on a Fairfield.
Fairfield.
You guys want to choose now or you want to wait until
Talk in
next?
executive. Can we do that and then bring it back in regular later to vote?
That would need to be after budget, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, after
in
budget.
theory, you could, yeah.
That good with you guys?
Do we need to amend?
Or do you want
the
to
agenda?
evaluate it now?
With what we got going on, I suggest that we take a more thorough look at it over the next 2 weeks. And,
The next meeting is on the 8th.
Okay, I'm good with that.
yep. Make sure all the i's are dotted, t's are crossed. That my suggestion, but
I think it's a good idea.
So we don't need a motion to table it
So-
to the next meeting.
Need a motion to table it to the next meeting so that we can thoroughly go through the packets?
You made the motion?
Yep.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Table to next one.
each one of these.
So next is the budget portion of the meeting.
So you all have a packet in front of you, and I don't know, looks like the audience members also found packets, great. I'm gonna get right into it, because we got a lot to cover. I'll go page by page. One correction before I even begin. I had told you in an email, if it was to pass today as presented, it was going up, I can't remember the exact amount, but I forgot to add in the overage on the CIP of $67,700 from the bridge and the transfer station projects to offset that. So if everything was to pass as is today, our current tax rate is 0.5378. This proposed budget is 0.5528, what we are going through today. So a $450,000 assessed homestead or property would have a increase in their tax bill on the municipal side of $67.77. $30.12 on a $200,000 home. So just a hair. Prior to that, I had sent it to you, it was 5686 without me adding in that. So page 1, the very first line item, what we would be asking the voters for with the CIP, the highway, and every department, including general fund, cemetery, library, is $2.4 million this year, which is an increase in taxpayer dollars of $152,913. Pushing this over. Our biggest changes on page 1, Swanton Village tax. The way it's calculated is based on this calendar year's hydro generation, this calendar year's tax rate, next fiscal year's grand list total, and then additions to the grand list on top of that. It's a very convoluted calculation. But with the generation that Lynn had given me mid-December, it looks like we will be losing about $210,000. So there's that. The other biggest line item you will notice that is a change is the transfer in. They've overpaid us quite a bit, not overpaid, but we have budgeted conservatively in the Swanton Village. As you can see, last year we budgeted $400,000 in the very far left column, and we actually got $678,324. So we also have extra surplus in our general fund balance that needs to be added back in to offset the tax rate this year. Everything else on this first page is minimal. And when I say minimal, like the interest is going up because we are in a higher earning savings account, but it's not going up that much because the interest gets divided into every single account that it belongs to. So that's going up $2,000. The cell tower lease increases by 2% every year. And we are now receiving a revenue sharing, so that's going up minimally. So I guess I'm just going to quickly ask if there's been any questions on page 1 of our revenues. Has everyone had a chance to look at this, or should I go line by line by line?
Can we go line by line by line?
You want to? You want to be here till midnight? Let's do it.
Nope, I'm here till 9:30.
Me too. Me too. So the first section's all your taxes. What we ask the voters for, and then your property tax adjustment, that all comes from the state, mostly homestead adjustments after the fact, late home files. Your delinquent property tax interest and penalty is calculated based on what you are receiving. So when the late payers are actually paying. Tax sale expenses recovered, so when we do hold a tax sale and we receive legal fees back, or when the late payers have paid and those fees are being paid back to the town as well. EDU billing fee retained, we actually get to keep a very small portion, $12,000 of the school taxes we get paid to collect. So not much, not what it's worth, but we do keep $12,000. The next section, intergovernment revenue. So we do receive money from the Swanton Village Hydro Dam. We receive money from current use. Again, that's mostly agricultural land, and we are paid a portion from the state. Pilot is payment in lieu of taxes, state payment again, and that is state-owned land. And then Fish and Wildlife pay a small amount for the land that they also own. So that has gone down due to the Swanton Village Dam. The next section, other revenues. Again, we went over the interest income. That's divided amongst all of the accounts in town. Waugh Farm, we receive $1,000 for leasing the land down on Waugh Farm Road, which I believe the last time, is Richard Noel in the audience? No? The last time we spoke, that was, I think it's $100 an acre. Maybe Scott can, or Henry can answer. I don't know what the acreage is or if that's even, but it's minimal and you can't do anything else with it because it's flood land. Cell tower, I briefly touched, but yes, we received a small increase annually for the cell tower, and every time they add somebody onto the cell tower, we receive some revenue sharing from that. And last year, the year prior, they added 2 more carriers, so we've been increased our revenue from that. The Casella host fees, I did have a question. I wasn't sure what to do. I don't know what's going on with that in your world, and I wasn't sure if the $65,000 we are normally generating from Casella is going to be accurate in the coming fiscal year or not.
To be determined technically.
So leave it as is.
Correct.
Charging station is not functioning at the moment.
Correct.
The other income, it could be anything. Sometimes, more than likely, it's like Hodgkins. If the highway brought Hodgkins some scrap metal and they got $20, like it would go into their other income. For us, it's mostly some random little payment that doesn't really belong anywhere and we're never going to get it again. We would shove it in there. It doesn't happen often. Land sales, we're not budgeting for. We don't have any. And the opioid settlement, we might get a small amount again this year. I think we are for the next couple of years. I can plug in that amount, but it's not going to be, it's not big.
I don't think you can predict though.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
don't think the amounts are out yet.
No, they're not. They're not.
FEMA buyout, we haven't had one this year. Nothing we would budget for, even if we did. They're basically paying us to pay the owner of the home. We're just a middleman. And Memorial Day, that is Sue's bake sale money, mostly. So, and then the transfer in, $208,975, that is coming from general fund surplus to offset taxpayer dollars. Clerk's fees haven't changed. Interest rates are still dropping. Property transfers are still crazy. So we kept everything the same except photocopies. We are getting a little bit more in-office appointments. So we upped that a little bit to be more in line with where she's actually falling in her revenue. And the marriage the marriage licenses, but it's because the cost increased on the state side. Everything else stayed the same. Oh, land postings too. Questions, page 1? Audience? Page 2, more revenue. We've got civil fines at the top. That's what your patrol officers are doing. We do get a cut of the tickets that they write. Animal fees, new and renew. Again, it doesn't fluctuate that much. We kept it the same. The zoning permits, mostly the same. It's really hard to budget for. You never know what town's going to do, so we just kind of base it off averages. And then we upped a little bit based on their fee structure had increased a little bit. And then, so our total revenue in town, but this does include what we would be asking the taxpayers for, is $3,337,252, which is a difference in revenue of $164,259 from last year. Questions so far? Keep moving on.
Keep going.
Okay. Select board stayed the same unless you want to give yourself a raise.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Less hours, that's it. That's all it is.
As I said in my notes to you, and they can see, so payroll was 4% across the board. That's just a starting point. Felt like a fair increase for the employees, and I just kept it across the board, except highway when we get down there. So the town and zoning administration section, the grant administration line item is going to need some help from the select board. I don't know if you want to speak on behalf of the grant administration line item, what you've been using it for, what your plans are.
So I came in right at the end of last fiscal year, start of this fiscal year. And so trying to figure out how to best utilize that line item for the town was an interesting feat. So out of the current budget, the plan has been, we've had some pretty brief conversations about it, is part of that is going to an NRPC contract, a professional services agreement contract that we have with them for assistance with the village core, water, wastewater. It's more specifically the wastewater, that's the PSA for this one. They're providing, weekly assistance on that. Been a great help for us. The other part of it was a professional services agreement with Nate, who you met last time, who is already has been in the office a few times. He's helping me with the logistics of all of the grants. You guys got about $25 million plus in grants totals. It's a very large amount of money between all of the projects. And so he's not only helping the logistics of going through every single piece of paper, but building trackers and product, very logistic based. And then that'll leave, I think, $30,000 in that line item. And depending on the conversation we have around the water project, I would like to use that to procure a contract with, there's many people who do it, but basically a grant contractor who would just be focused on finding and applying for applications for water for the project itself. Those, I sent some of that pricing over to Shelley to kind of give some context to it. Depending on how large the project is, depending on the complexity of it, if it's all of those fun things, that service can change pretty drastically. And so I think that the $30,000 for the next 6 months would be of great assistance. It also doesn't have to just be for water.
So this starts July 1, 2026.
I know, but I'm giving context for what I'm doing with it now.
Okay.
And so it has changed. So the change for it goes from $50,000 from last year, because you guys, as I've heard, didn't know if you were going to hire part-time or what that was going to look like. It's gone down to 25. I think that's a fair amount. I think that we are about to be pretty heavy on some of the applications between all of the other projects you've got going on. And then we're also in the middle of a lot of just finalizing design, engineering, starting construction for a lot of them. So I think that $25,000 will help in whatever way that gets decided that it gets used on, most likely for grant applications, because those take the most amount of time and logistics that I could be doing to help with actual administration work. It really kind of depends, and it'll depend when we get into it what becomes a priority, and we'll always have a conversation with you about it. But for those line items, that's my spiel.
So 25 is good?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I mean,
I threw it to you
more
thinking you were asking for more.
I mean, more would be fantastic, because that would give us more flexibility. But I also know that
You used all your talking time talking about you saying it was good.
they hired me because I kept talking. I sure can talk, and that's something.
Say no.
I mean, 35,000 would be fantastic in terms of like being able to cover some of the grant costs associated with like, so basically any outside contracting that we could get between NRPC, and the additional contract, all of that fun stuff, that does cost money, but in reality, the payoff for it is you pay $10,000 and then you get you get $500,000 worth of grants. You pay $20,000 and you get $2 million worth of grants. Like the trade-off is.
So right now, we're getting $1,000 per $1 spent. That's the way I calculate it. That's pretty good return on investment. At 25,000, you said we have 25 million in grants?
That is existing grants.
Okay.
This is not pending grants. This is
Okay.
also not grants that I've. So there's pending grants, there's applications that I have in progress and all of that. The money that we're spending right now is both logistical and then all of the wastewater and village core stuff that's separately contracted. But yes, we are getting our money's worth out of it. The PSA for NRPC was like 13. Oh, ooh.
I don't know.
I gotta pull that out of the back of my head somewhere.
So the question is, going back to the original question, is 25,000 enough?
Based on the other things that I would like, I will take $25,000 as a responsible middle.
Moving on.
Okay. Thank you.
So, town administrator and zoning administrator, 4% increase, bringing them up to where the proposed line item is. Grant administration dropped in half to 25,000 because we did not hire a part-time person. The health insurance, same thing. When we were hiring last budget season, we weren't sure who was going to be stepping in. Freddie is a single person right now, so we are able to drop the insurance to a single person plan. Dental insurance going up slightly from $39 to $40 a month, $12 increase. Social Security and Medicare is a percentage out of our control. Retirement contribution, same thing. The state dictates what we pay, and they dictate what the employee pays into their retirement account. So it is at 6% this year for the employer's contribution on the employee's behalf. Professional development, that is per Freddie's contract, 3,000, so that's why that is up. The cell phone stipend and travel expenses. Any questions in that section? Questions, changes? Town clerk. Clerk salary 4%, same with the public meetings clerk. Move on. Health insurance has increased. That's just their I can't remember the percentage this year. It wasn't as much as previous years. And you guys changing the way you help pay for that has certainly helped our employees, but it's still increasing. Dental, same thing, $12. Social Security, retirement, professional dues. Wendy does belong to a few things I have opted out of. Election expenses, it's going to be an even year, and we anticipate to sit at the polls a bit. Professional development, same thing. Most of the stuff Wendy and I do for training is free through VLCT or some other kind of clerk and treasurer organization. And then travel expenses, she has a lot that she needs to bring back and forth to UPS and FedEx for recordings. Nobody trusts the post office anymore. Questions on town clerk? Moving on. Listers, contracted assessor services. He has not increased his cost this year, and we did spend just about the $25,000 last year. I left everything the same. I did increase the technical services based on a few of our contracted, like the CIA, the GIS program, and the mapping quarterly help that they give us, maintenance, has increased slightly. I'm sure I'm not forgetting any of my notes here. Okay. Town treasurer, same thing, 4%. Insurance buyout, you don't pay as much for insurance. Dental insurance, $12 increase. Social security, retirement, professional development, and travel expenses staying the same. Delinquent tax collector, I'm keeping that the same as last year. It's really hard to, it's just a guessing game on where it's going to land based on how I think the economy is going. We're into the town operations, unless questions on treasurer. Okay. So straight down consulting services, a minimum $1,500 just to have something in there when we need one. And this year we have needed those consulting services, as you can see. We've overspent that quite a bit. Professional audit is up $5,000 for another single audit that is going to be needed this year and next year. Legal services, we've kept the same. We've stayed within, barely, but within last year. Technical services are the same. Custodial services are the same. The buildings and grounds maintenance has increased. We have budgeted for the electrical work with the outlets and lighting and the northwest access remote camera work that needs to be done. So we increased our buildings and grounds to get that work done.
So that covers the whole building now for lights, right?
No, it will once we get to the fire department. We budgeted in the fire department side for their lights, and then we'll be all set, yes.
Okay.
Equipment maintenance, very minimal, just in case, copier breaks or whatnot. Passive insurance, I do not have any quotes back or premiums back from VLCT yet. They said that I should have them before Christmas, but it sounds like it's going to be just before Christmas. So I just did a very small increase on all of our passive, workers' comp, and unemployment, because I just don't know what they are yet. Life insurance and short-term disability is the same. Child care contribution tax is the same. It has gone down because we have decreased that grant administration line item, and that's a payroll tax. So that was, we thought we were going to hire someone, so that was considered payroll for part of the payroll taxes. Communications, mostly Comcast, and we kept that the same. Postage is going up, but we increased it last year and we stayed within, and it's going up again, but I still think that we can stay within the 11,000 and be good. Advertisements, we dropped. There's no papers to advertise in these days. So when I was asking Wendy about it, she said, yeah, well, if before, when it was at least a Monday, Wednesday, Friday paper, if a special meeting came up midweek, I could still get it in a paper. Now I don't have that option. So the advertising it's still being advertised, just not paid for advertising anymore. The printing and binding, we signed a 3-year contract with Repro for our town report last year. So we were able to drop that a little bit based on our prices being held. And our PC dues, that's a per capita rate, went up slightly. Same with VLCT, that's a per capita. So far, so good. Franklin County assessment, that is also, it's a county tax. I can't believe they've had their budget meeting. I know because I was invited to go. But I haven't heard back yet. So I, again, just increased slightly. That will fluctuate before we finalize this, I'm sure. General supplies, we've been good with the 9,000. Natural gas, we upped it to 7,000. We were just barely under 7,000 last year, so we increased that by 1,000. Electricity, we kept the same. The furniture, fixture, equipment, we kept the same. And tax abatement, we had a few this year, one being Mill Hill. So we bought it after the tax bills were cut or the grand list was frozen April 1st. So any changes that happen after that, we have to account for because we still had to pay the school. It was calculated in the school tax. Other expenses, again, just like the other revenue, if we have a random thing that we just need to pay for that's not normal, a couple $100. The grant expense, we wouldn't, so I explained this in my budget notes, but for everybody else, we have budgeted $6,000 and $5,000 for the municipal planning grant and a VLCT equipment grant that we haven't done anything with yet, so that will be in our fund balance at the end of this year if we don't, and we can use that money next year if we have something that pops up. Questions? So the total town operations is changing by $509 more than last year. Questions? Moving on, changes? Am I going too fast? Okay. Ambulatory. So when we, again, budgeted last fiscal year, we were budgeting, we didn't know who was going to get awarded the bid, so we budgeted for the max amount, I think it was 3% of the last contract, and both of the contracts came in lower. So I was able to take that down based on actuals. Dispatch fee, we haven't heard anything from dispatch yet.
Oh, we did. We got a bill. I got a copy of the contract.
Yeah, last year's.
Oh, that was last year's.
Oh, the one where they're combining?
Huh?
The one where they're combining?
Yeah, they sent an email saying they wanted to combine.
Yeah.
That's all I saw.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's all I've gotten.
That's no dollars. So I don't know what the cost is. Patrol services, they've increased about 5%, but that was part of their 5-year. Was it a 5-year? 3-year?
3 years.
3-year? So that was their exact amount on their 3-year. I just took it from that. ACO, I kept all of the ACO the same except the impound animal expenses because we have set her up to have animals sheltered at her place. She's all set up with pens and crates.
Correct.
So we didn't need to keep that at so high. The Northwest Solid Waste District is, again, a per capita. It does increase, but I don't know what that increase is going to be. I haven't seen that one yet either. Health officer stipend has also stayed the same. And into your social service appropriations. So I know Franklin County Home Health has petitions circling and mailed, and they're, I believe, going to have a question on our warning. They'll have enough signatures. So everything stayed the same except you did not receive requests from American Red Cross, the Friends of Northern Lake Champlain, Green Mountain Transit, Vermont Rural for Fire Protection, Franklin County Senior Center, or the, and then you received new requests, but no dollar amounts tied to them for the Franklin County Senior Center and the Prevent Child Abuse Vermont. So I didn't know if you wanted to include any that were regulars or include any of the new ones. I do have the letters here if you want to see them. And of course, you've got the dollar amounts in here, like American Red Cross, for instance, is $950. Friends of Northern Lake Champlain and Green Mountain Transit, like they're all 1,000 or less because they don't want to go through the work of getting the signatures.
I'm good the way you have it printed.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a policy on it, and there are deadlines for getting their letters in. They're good services, but policy is policy, I guess. So the department transfer outs, we'll get into those as we get to the departments themselves, but just cultural services, historical societies, the same at 1,000. Memorial Day, I upped by 500. The flags have been taking a beating, and it seems like you want them up longer and later, so
Correct.
they're expensive. I've upped the Memorial Day line by 500.
Can we stop there a second?
Sure.
Ty, you had an idea, I think sometime this year, about the veteran flags. Have we gotten any traction on that?
I have 2 members of the community that would like to work with me to get proposed guidelines of what a Highgate is going to accept for. Each town is doing a little bit different on what it looks like.
Right.
And these would be self-funded anyway, right?
Yes, they would be
That's where I was
self-funded.
going with this. Okay.
And Shelley and I talked about a couple different options of how to make it easy for both the person that wants it and
The
ladies
town.
in the office and the town to, so that way it's not, a ton of paperwork and a bunch of emails back and forth, so.
Okay.
I would say we want them out by Memorial Day, so I would say probably beginning of February. I'd like to get with these other 2 people and come up with something to bring to you guys and see if it's what you want or want to modify before we post it, that we're opening it up to veterans and active duty.
Okay. So the big thing is it's a self-funded project?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's why I was looking to see if we need to put something in a line item here for that or do that. So, okay, thank you.
So Shelley, now the flags, you're just talking the flags on the pole?
Any and all.
Oh,
Ty already had me reorder all of the service branch flags for
Okay,
next
over
year.
here, okay. I don't want
We're
to make
already
sure.
on it, Richard.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
thank you, Ty.
You're welcome. Thank you, Shelley.
The summer concert series, we had it at 10. It didn't quite get all spent 2 years ago. We put it back to 5 for this year. Meeting with Jess and Ryan, they'd really like it back to 10. They're finding it hard to get the bigger named bands, which would probably draw more of a crowd if they could do so. Thoughts on that while you're right here? Or did that pretty much sums it all up?
How much was Grateful Dead? How much did that cost us?
That's the rush.
Just curious. Yeah.
What for a cup, basically, on top of that.
Need another one of those.
Yeah. Losing my train of thought here. Okay, holiday celebrations. Wendy's snowflakes that are beautiful are about $700 a piece, so we try to order 1 or 2 a year to keep them functioning, and then it also gives a little extra if some boards like to do a holiday something or other.
You're right.
Or if, like, every once in a while there's someone you want to send flowers to. Something. So moving on, Planning Commission, their little stipend, and the DRB, their stipend. That has not changed at all. And that is the end of the general fund budget. Comments, questions, changes? Moving forward, fire department. So they've got their fundraising upped by $2,000. Their chicken barbecue does a great job. That's what that is for the most part. They do a few other things here and there. And then their tax revenue is what they would be asking the voters for. And it is $38,753 more than previous year. But they've always brought a shoestring budget proposal in front of the select board and have worked with it. And now they've got some things that need attention. So buildings and grounds is one of the biggest things in their budget that need attention. So buildings and grounds, Richard, they're going to repair the building in the far corner up top.
Over by where utility sits.
There's another crack in that.
We cracked. I don't know how long it's been there, but
The one insurance will not help with because we have no story for it.
Correct.
Okay.
put it off and maybe this winter something will happen so the insurance takes care of it.
JL Masonry.
That's the goal.
JL Masonry did say that his quote would stand. So that was $6,400. The LED lighting for the high bay lights over on the fire department side was $3,800. Engine 2 is upped by $20,500, needing some paint fixes to preserve the truck and new brakes and drums. The paint quote was $18,000 from Charbonneau's, and the brakes and drums were $2,500.
They do fire trucks over there?
Yeah.
Big trucks?
They'll paint anything.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. I didn't think you could fit in that little booth they got. That's fine. Okay.
Takes the fuel over there for us.
Yeah, okay.
And then engine 1 is already having some DEF issues, so that's getting bumped up a bit too. But to go line for line, workers' comp, again, I don't have it yet. Fire department stipend, Gary, I went through and I did drop it, because even if you paid all of the people on the roster that we just paid for, $15,000.
We didn't pay 3 this year.
Yeah, you're good. You're still good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, so we dropped that by $2,450, and you're still plenty to pay everyone on your roster if they qualify. Social Security and Medicare is based on the stipend amount, and same with the child care contribution. Professional development, $1,200. They do want to send a couple of their firefighters to some ice training, and
if they want to go to Albert too, for some training.
oh yeah, the in-house fire training, yeah.
June and then September also.
Buildings and grounds maintenance, I just explained. Personal protective equipment, those are about $5,000 a piece, and they get 2 pairs, right? Each year, so they
get two sets every year, just so we're circulating. So when they expire, we get just a continuous rotation.
air packs and tanks, also getting a little bit more expensive. $5,000 increased by $500. Pagers and radios, they are keeping the same with their hose maintenance. Poseidon system, yeah.
Just keeping it as is for now.
The fire extinguishers are the same. Small equipment repair and small engine repair, we ended up, oh no, did we combine those, or was that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one we combined at, and I'm getting confused with highway. They had 2 small piddly $500 line items for equipment and engine repairs, small, and we lumped them all into the equipment repair. So it looks like it's up to $500, but down below you see there's a $500 in the negative. The extraction tools have been added in. Engine 1, again, we went over that 5,000. That's having some DEF issues already. Tanker, 2,500 is the same. The load right trailer and their Polaris XP, the same. Well, it's added in, so it'll need a regular maintenance. Engine 2 I explained, but that's up $20,500. Ford F-350 is the same. Again, I don't have the passive insurance rates yet, or the unemployment, or the dispatch, and those are the 3 biggest in their budget. Public relations is the same. Outreach and support is the same. Their annual dues is the same. Maintenance supplies is up just a bit, and that's just increased cost. Gasoline, we kept the same. Same with diesel, uniform, furniture, fixture, equipment, and their general supplies. So theirs is going up $40,753 to the taxpayers, $38,753, but they do have some repairs that need to be done. Questions, comments?
Just a quick question. How's the new gear washing system that you bought work?
Works fine.
It does?
Yeah.
Do you get more life out of the gear when you
It cleans it better, so yes.
Moving on?
Any update on the truck that they went with that, or have you guys looked at?
Yes, we told them we were gonna take it. It did satisfy those their needs,
Yeah.
and they pumped it right there. And cold frozen water pond, but it worked. So, there's a few changes that they were gonna add for us that they didn't have, so. We'll try to have it here for us, and so.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like by February it should arrive.
Probably, I would think mid-January, because what I heard from him yesterday, he ordered the chains, so.
Okay.
So we're, now put drop chains on it.
So,
We're gonna want,
so will we pull that off in the Freightliner, what you got there, and put it on the new truck?
it would switch it, yes.
So that, yeah, that's what I'm, yeah.
Or should we change that line item name? Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying?
yeah.
Yes, once it comes in, a new line item will be created for that.
So will it be changed?
For the 2,500, it'll be renamed once we receive it.
Okay. But I'm saying, will it be listed for this year? Will we come town meeting, will that Freightliner be out?
Out where? In a budget?
Yeah, not in our budget, right? It'll be the new truck.
It'd just be replaced, whatever we call it, engine
One of the
3 or
bidders.
whatever.
Right,
So the tanker will be gone.
gone.
Off
Right.
this, and then we just engine 3 or.
But in our paperwork here, that's what I'm saying, it'll.
It does say 2,500, so the Freightliner tanker will be renamed to
Yeah.
what, 2025, whatever the year is, 2017.
07. So then, but the 2,500 will stay the same,
We'll just, yes.
just move it over.
They still need inspection money and oil
Right,
change money
yeah,
and regular
okay.
maintenance, and they're going to need some, I don't know, I'm assuming additions to it, with their little tools and whatnot that they usually
Right.
add.
Yeah,
Decals, you never know.
Graphics.
Yeah, it needs some kind, it needs a little bit of money.
Right, yeah.
So yes,
Okay.
the
we still
Letters will
need that
change when it's for-
2,500,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Well, they're gonna letter most of it.
Oh, they are, okay, good.
Good,
Oh, good.
good,
Any other questions on fire?
no.
Any changes? Everyone likes it as is? Public Works. So, we have got some turmoil in the highway department. And I was asked to look up the average salaries of Vermont, and I did that. I have that. But basically, an average average highway director in Vermont was making about $75,000 a year. A foreman was around $65,000, and a crew starting out was around $60,000. Those were the average. So I did not do 4% in any of this highway. I didn't know, we're right smack dab in the middle of hiring, and I don't know what that looks like. So that's also going to need some attention. I don't know, maybe being personnel and executive after the fact, but so this budget is for a 4-person crew, so you know what it looks like, at a $75,000, a $65,000, a $60,000, and a $60,000 salary. 4 people, no name, just blank. 4 slots, those salaries in this budget when I was putting this together for so you would know what it looks like.
So if we wanted to do anything, we're still gonna have, we'll have 3, so we will have some to play with then, a little bit, right?
If the budget is,
Yeah, and it's a budget.
That's your decision, Richard.
Just, you know,
yeah, we do have to discuss that tonight.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what direction you wanted to move, but this was the little bit of direction I was given. So this is what I'm presenting to you. How you change it, how you move forward with that department is up to you.
I think Scott, before he left, had a lot to say about how the on-call and overtime requirements were getting extremely heavy as more and more was put on. So he, before he left, advocated for a 4-person, just from those conversations I had with him. So.
I thought it was relayed to the board. So going down, starting with a highway revenue. They have been getting slightly more from the state for their AOT state aid for their class 2 and class 3 roads. So I did up that to be more in line with what we are receiving. The transfer in, again, is new. Not new, but a big change in their budget this year. They ended last year very well. So they've got $181,300 to contribute back towards the taxpayers. And they'd be asking $977,740 from the taxpayers towards their budget for this year, which is $4,431 less than last year. So again, the director's salary, I explained that. Crew wages would be the $65,000, $60,000, and $60,000. I removed temp help wages altogether. For one, we can't find anybody. And for two, if they had a 4th person, they wouldn't need any. But again, that's going to be your decision, your direction, what you do with that department. Director overtime, $10,000, and the crew overtime, $30,150. And I based that off 225 hours. Again, if there was a 4th person, there really should be less overtime if they're all working together to get the same job done. But it was based off 300, and they weren't really. I don't know. It's up to you. Insurance buyout, you don't have anybody in the department right now that does a buyout. And again, the insurance, health insurance, the next line item down has increased significantly. Again, we're right in the middle of budgeting. So for the health insurance, $85,550 is 85% of a 2-person gold plan times 3 employees. And I kept 1 employee, because we still have 1 employee, at a 1-person plan, which costs the town $12,222 a year. So the 3 employees at a 2-person plan and 1 employee at a 1-person plan is an increase of $50,720. Dental insurance, $12 per person for the increase on that. Social Security and Medicare is all based on the payroll taxes. So if you removed a person altogether, that would come down. Same with your child care contribution tax and your retirement. Professional dues we took out. They don't have any to speak of, and when they go to, I think they do one thing. You pay a small amount for your lunch when you go to the thing in Barry. So, yeah. Should have brought a ruler. Unemployment, I don't have that. Workers' comp, I don't have that. Professional development, again, 0. If they did a flaggers class, it's usually through VLCT and paid for. And they haven't had any paid even for myself, there's not been very many in-person or paid trainings since pre-COVID, so I've pretty gone out the wayside. Everyone's doing webinars, which don't cost anything. Roadside cleanup, Nick said that the bottom of Mill Hill needs some serious attention, so we raised it. Engineering and consulting, we removed. Usually if they have an engineer or a consulting need, it is grant funded. The general permit is out of our control. That's a fee we pay to the state for the stormwater. Buildings and grounds, it was $5,000. That's their normal amount that they would budget for. Last year we upped it to 10 for their high bay lighting project, and Nick said he would like to keep it for one more year at 10,000 so they can do electrical work on their side of the building as well. They also want to install the generator and pressure washer permanently so they can use them when needed. The welder, $500 so they can buy a specific torch and hose that goes with it. And the pressure washer, $15,000. This is brand new. Scott, can you explain a little bit about this?
Yep, I can. So they are finding that a lot of our equipment is rotting out because of the salt and stuff. And they're looking for something more permanent to put in the shop, and hot water washer on a nice reel, hose reel, so they can, after a big storm event, they can get after these trucks and get them cleaned up. You know, you get that salt sitting on the fuel tanks and the air tanks and rotting them out. They're also looking for like, they make these little rolly, you just kind of roll them under with pressure washer pointing up, get up underneath them chassis and them trucks. Because the rot, we're trading these $300,000 trucks. It's not because they're wore out, because they're rotted out. So we're trying to alleviate some of that rot in these vehicles. You know, I think it'd be a good investment. If we could just get a year out of each vehicle or more, you'd pay for that thing 10 times over, you know. Because these trucks have just got ridiculous. Last one was about $313,000. You know, we're rotting them out in 9-10 years. So if we can try to prevent some of the rot, and it would help on the maintenance. A lot of your maintenance are straps rotted off, hoses rotted off, tanks rotted out, air tanks rotted through. So that's what it's about. Trying to preserve that equipment a little longer.
Thank you.
And Nick did have quotes, so this is, the 15,000 is not thrown out from ballpark, it's a quote. I don't know if you saw the quotes that he had gotten for the pressure washer?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Show them to me in detail.
There's a folder on the table, I think, yeah. The mulcher and hydro seeder, same amount, just a small amount they need for their supplies for that. Generator, $4,000. That's for the annual, they come and they run it, make sure it's working, fix anything that's needed, just annual maintenance. They come from Brookfield. I think there's only one servicing business in the state. Small equipment repair, we dropped to $500. They weren't really using it, not really necessary. Utility trailers, $0, kept that the same. The mowing tractor, $2,000, up to by $1,500. That is budgeting for one repair and one routine maintenance. The sidearm mower will need blades and regular maintenance. Roadside mower, we left the same. We didn't put anything in there. The grader, $5,000. Grader. That's the same, that's just regular maintenance. Loader, $3,000, up from $2,000. And the backhoe, $2,000, which is the same as last year. The backhoe will need new tires by 2027.
The backhoe is budgeted to get replaced in the CIP
Now, so.
If the CIP passes, the backhoe will get replaced.
Yeah. So we didn't budget for the tires.
Right.
Yes. So the Ford F-550 is also down $4,500 for that same reason. It is scheduled to be replaced. So we did the 500 of regular inspection, oil maintenance, just regular maintenance. The 2016, we budgeted $8,000, the same as last year. Until that gets replaced, it's expensive. The 2020, we kept the same. The 2024, we kept the same. It's regular maintenance. Plow maintenance, we dropped by $5,000. They said they had a good amount of blades and shoes stocked up. The equipment rental, we also were able to drop by $3,000 down to $5,000. Again, that's if they're renting equipment, it's mostly grant related, so we'd be reimbursed if it was over that. And where they rent their equipment's pretty reasonable. Tree removal, Nick said there's never enough money to cut the trees. So he would like $20,000, but he'll take whatever you can give him. The trees that they are planned for are Lampkin Street, Beverly Street, or Road maybe, is that a drive? Down by Beverly Drive, Beverly Road off Lampkin.
Yeah, okay, I know,
Okay,
yeah.
there's some dead trees, there's about 6 to 8 dead trees there.
Yeah,
He said there's other areas of concern, School Street, Carter Hill Road, the Falls Park on the 207 side.
Yeah.
There's plenty to be cut. They will use any amount of money that you give them. Passive, I don't have that yet. Life insurance and communications radios, we dropped to $500. They're not really going to have a need to do anything next year. Travel kept the same at $200. Uniforms, $15,000. There was talk about buying a washer instead of renting the uniforms. I don't know how I agree with that. Who's doing that laundry? I can see the phone call now. Can you go swap my load? Put it in the dryer? Yeah. So I say we continue to budget for what it costs.
yeah.
Did you do that for a four-person crew as well?
Yep. The supplies, we left the same at $3,000. That seems to be a good amount for them. Small tools, $2,000, which is the same. Electricity and streetlights, $25,000. This was increased. Our electricity is going up. We've got 2 new pump houses down by the airport, and that's, I think, going to be just the tip of the iceberg.
I agree.
So, increase on the electric side. Gasoline, $4,000, but it sounds like we might be able to cut that a little bit now. What are you thinking? We upped it thinking that new trucks were coming in gasoline, not diesel. And that is no longer the case.
No, they don't suggest it.
Okay, so
So what was it?
we usually just do the 500 for the mowers and
So if you put it at 1,000, because a lot of the chippers are gasoline.
so drop it from 4,000 to 1,000?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna take 3,000 out of the gasoline highway. So diesel, we dropped by 15,000. but we kept it the same as what you used last year. We actually have a little more. Last year you ended at $32,257 and we kept it at 35.
I wouldn't do less.
No, I wouldn't do less, but do you think you need more? You just dropped your gas.
I want to do 3,000 more to.
Put the 3,000 over in the diesel side, so your budget stays the same.
The 3,000? Oh my God.
Maybe 38.
Okay. Oil and grease was kept the same at 5,000. Streetlights was kept the same at 3,000. Culverts, the same at 10,000. Guardrails, we did not budget for. Stone and gravel, that's another one. They'll use whatever you give them. 150,000 is budgeted. We budgeted 135,000 last year. It's 15,000 more. I don't know
The
that.
price keeps going up.
The price keeps going, yeah, we're not gaining any more product.
No.
Same with the paving, we're not gaining any more product, but the price keeps increasing. So the paving, we increased $25,000 from $375 to $400 to still pave the same small stretch. Paving plan, I don't know if this has changed, but was Lackey Road, Limekiln, Fortin Road, Gore Road, but a bid needs to be put out now
Still needs to be discussed.
and to be
Yes.
discussed. Yeah, I don't know if it's changed or not, but that was
Yeah.
the plan.
Yeah.
Calcium chloride, 45,000, that seems to still be a good number. Winter salt, 55,000. Winter sand, 6,000. All of those are the same. Ditching and road maintenance, 2,500. We don't have bridge repair anymore. Crack sealing, 20,000. Furniture, fixture, equipment, $250, and all of those are the same as last year. So the highway budget total, $1,336,190. The total change is $183,019. And the total change to taxpayers is negative $4,431.
I've only got one question, Cheryl.
Yep.
Are we just gonna let the wages and stuff, leave it as presented?
I'm assuming they're gonna discuss an executive.
I mean, kind of cart before the horse, they're gonna discuss in executive.
It's the way this town likes to do things.
Yeah, I know. After we set the budget, because we could be awfully strong on that wage budget if we stay with a three-man crew. Just a question for the board.
Is that what you are proposing?
That's a question I'm asking the board, or, are we just gonna leave, it's possible we could leave $70,000, $80,000 extra in the budget for no reason, if they decide to go with continue to stay with three-man crew.
If they stay with a three-man crew, I should know that before we finalize this and change it.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to discuss that.
We've got one more meeting that we go through to finalize
Okay.
payroll and stuff before it goes to town meeting. This is preliminary first draft, so it can change.
Luke, 30-second answer. 3 people or 4 people for Public Works? What do you want? 3?
3.
Okay.
If I can do it by myself, I should be able to do it in 3.
Yeah, but you're Superman. Okay.
If I can do it by myself, I'll do it.
Until you want to take a week off,
Yeah.
Until you need to go ahead.
I would support 3 more than 4.
I totally agree.
Brian?
So since you have a transfer in and you're essentially less than level funding and you drop that, I would suggest put it toward paving. That's 70.
keep the budget amount the same and whatever they take out of payroll to paving.
I wouldn't say drop the budget anymore.
It's not a bad idea.
That's a
No.
good idea, right?
Look at that, working together as a team.
Hell yeah.
I'm just saying, they've already done their due diligence on doing the best they could with their budget. I don't think we should.
I saw a twinkle in Scott's eye, I think you got approval.
New office parking lot.
Okay.
No, easy. Nothing off better than some of our roads.
So it's moving 60 grand to paving?
Basically.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
again, we gotta.
yeah, after we talk.
After we talk.
After
We'll
we
know more
talk,
after we
got-
talk about
Yeah.
payroll and stuff.
Yeah, you don't jump too quick.
No, just,
Yeah,
good idea.
we have a
Yeah,
lot to discuss after.
yeah, we gotta discuss before.
So any other changes, comments, questions on Public Works?
Is the generator in Public Works just because that's where it fits for equipment? Oh, shoot.
I don't know if that's who acquired it. I don't know.
Oh,
It's,
I didn't know.
it was in this budget before me.
Okay.
It's not even used, it's not hooked up to anything.
And there's been some talk to get that generator
Over there.
over there and get it hooked up.
Yeah,
Yeah, stationary and,
which is what's in this budget to do.
yeah.
Is that enough? I don't know if you've talked to Eric or anybody of putting an automatic transfer in? Or are you gonna have the guys throw the switch and start it manually? I mean, they don't have to haul it up there when they're busy, which is good.
Right.
Or you can put in an automatic transfer switch, etc. And can you do that without upgrading everything?
Yeah, that would be the question to ask Brookfield.
And it's all,
I would ask,
And Aaron.
ask Brookfield.
What's that?
That's an electrician question.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, it depends if the generator's set up, Ralph, to
Yeah.
start automatically.
Yeah.
But wasn't that the discussion a year plus ago of that's what they were planning?
Yes. Yes.
So that hasn't gone any further.
No.
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 Maybe this year. Good to move on. Cemeteries? Cemetery Commission is asking for the exact same as last year. They just ask that we move some of their numbers around because they have more also tree cutting and removal to do versus stone repair. So they'll do some stone repair if they've got some left over, but they really want to focus on their tree removal and their fence repair and the groundskeeping and up maintenance for that. So they are staying the same. I'm assuming there's no questions on that. They do very little, but they do a good job at what they do. Library. So the library, same thing, the library ended last year, and this is mostly due to their librarian leaving halfway, gave them a little buffer, but the library has $30,326.31. I just rounded to $30,326 that they are transferring in to offset their taxpayer dollars. Their total tax revenue that they'd be asking the taxpayers for is $839 more than last year at $139,768. The librarian's salary increased by 4%, but it is down by $3,030 due to transitioning from an old librarian to a new librarian and the salary difference. Support staff wages, they have 2 part-timers over there. The librarian, and I'm assuming the trustees are in agreement, believes that they should make at least $20 an hour for the work that they do. They both work 20 hours a week, so that is the amount that is needed for that line item, upping it to $13,520. And it was lower last year. They only hired that second person at the very end of last fiscal year. Health insurance, they've always had a librarian that took the buyout. That moving forward, they do not. So their health insurance has increased by $19,444 to account for the health plan. Dental insurance, the $12 increase. Social Security and Medicare, child contribution, retirement is all payroll related and out of our control. Memberships and dues has increased, and again, just like everything else in the world, everything that they offer has increased. The biggest one is the St. Albans City Pool membership. We do have a pass to that, and their quarterly cost keeps increasing. Feel free to chime in if I'm getting anything wrong.
You're doing a great job.
Okay, great, thanks. We've got, so that's increased by 500. Unemployment, I don't have, same with workers' comp. Professional development, we upped to $100, and that's just for if Betsy had something that she needed to, I think she had a couple of classes in mind, but most of the things she does is free, so we didn't feel that anything more than 100 was necessary. Background checks, if you work at the library, you do have to have a background check, so we do always try to keep at least one fingerprinting and background check available for them. Technical services has kept the same at 250, and custodial services they took on by themselves. Buildings and grounds, $5,000, which is $2,500 more than last year, and they do have some bee removal that needs to happen. And I don't recall what else, just regular maintenance if some, like more pipes freeze.
More freezing pipes.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, we did put in for the bee removal.
Yep.
Uncertain whether we'll need to spend that. I know that when she had reached out to, I don't know the name of the company, for the quotation, they did tell her that those will die over the winter and they won't come back to the same spot. But yes, so we did budget for it just in case, because it is right in the backyard, which we use a lot in the summertime, and just better to budget for that than not.
Insurance, I don't have that yet. Life insurance and short-term, it's the same. Communications has decreased. They eliminated a fax line last year. Postage, we kept the same at $1,200, and Betsy Fournier, the new librarian, is hopeful that they can receive a grant for their interlibrary loans, which is a mail service book, basically, from library to library. And they do use a lot of postage for that program. So she found out about a grant, she's gonna go for it. Advertising is down, or, hold on. Yes, we did. We halved it from 500 to 250. And again, if there's advertising to be done, she felt it was pretty minimal and the 250 would suffice. I don't know, it doesn't cost much. She said something about boosting on social media. I don't know, I don't advertise on social media, but it's pretty reasonably priced, I guess. Printing and binding, same thing, down to 200, from 600 to 200. There's minimal printing and binding to be done outside of their normal paper toner general supply budget. They do have some grants. We don't budget for grants. They've already received that money. Now they're spending it down. Travel, $250. Kept that the same. General supplies is up 500. And that is because Betsy did think that the printing and binding was for toner, so we did up the general supplies. Toner's not cheap. Summer programs, 700, so that's down by $1,000. And the teen programs as well. That one was halved to 150. Teen programs are difficult. General programs we kept the same at 1,000, and special programs the same at 5,000. The craft fair, we went from 200 to 150, and they do have some signage and a few supplies that they usually have to pick up here and there for that, so that was a decent amount. Electricity is down $500. Natural gas is the same at $1,700. And same with their books and periodicals, $6,500, and furniture, fixtures, equipment at $500. So the library's total change, $31,165, but to the taxpayers, it would be $839.
Question on buildings and ground maintenance. At the last meeting, Richard was talking about it was in need of maintenance, so whenever I take a look-see. Looks like it's like the fascias in need of paint, and some of the door jamb, every single door jamb looks like it's starting to rot out at the bottom. So is that something you guys want more of a budget to fix that stuff? And the other thing I saw was some of the grout on the bricks up near the roof. Depending on which way the wind blows, was the grout was getting scooped out by the water coming off the walls. So I'm also thinking, if you're gonna be in that building for a while, gutters would probably be a good investment. And that would take care of a lot of that rot in the door jambs. Yep.
I can't remember if there used to be gutters on that came off when we redid the roof in like 17 or 18.
I don't remember those ever gutters on it myself. But
I didn't see any holes in the fascia, so it might be, I don't know, it's probably not original fascia, but
my
yeah.
recollection, it would be hard to put gutters on there, but
It would be now, you saying?
I think, just from recollection, I don't.
Go take a look-see, but,
Because that was one of my questions, was what was the repairs that were needed at the library?
yeah, I can tell you what, I think it's in need of just normal, just weathering type maintenance.
I know that the ramp could use some repair work. I guess I haven't looked at it closely enough to know if it's a repair situation or if it's a replace situation.
If you want, I mean, this is in the final version, but if you want to price that stuff out, we could talk about rolling it in
When's the final version?
2 weeks or the next meeting probably. Oh, you can get estimates. I mean,
Your floor is pretty rough shape in there. Your hardwood floor,
Yeah,
they
we were just
haven't been done, have they?
Yeah, they have been done a
Yeah.
few years ago. We were just talking about that this week, actually. It's been a few years since we've done that, because I do remember that we had closed the library and we would move everything around and redo that. That's what I was wondering, if it was when Liza was there. We were discussing that, and then also through that discussion, you know, how much life is left in those floors, you know, if you did sand them down again, or have they been, are they at the end of the sanding down?
There's 2 or 3 sandings at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I would say that you must be there.
I am not an expert, and that is what it looked like to me when I was standing there having that conversation.
So you're saying it was sanded down a few years ago?
I mean, I guess that was,
One, I hate to say it, but I've been there 32 years, so it's been done once.
It was done once before.
Before me?
Not before you. I'm gonna say, I'm quite sure it was done in the 25-year-ago range. And for some reason, I want to say it was somebody local that put the polyurethane to it. But that's, I don't remember if it was sanded at that time, but I'm quite sure it was.
Only sand it.
anyways, if you want to get some quotes for just that stuff, and then,
we can look into that.
yep.
I do think that there is some room in that 5,000 building and grounds maintenance for some of that. And we do have a sizable grant right now to do some work outside, but I am not sure exactly what the parameters of that grant are. And I know that
The NCSS?
I don't remember which one it is off the top of my head, and I know that part of it is earmarked loosely for a storage shed. We have a small storage shed out back, but it's pretty flimsy and the walls are bowing on it. And so we are looking at purchasing like one of the Amish sheds, which would be larger, sturdier, and also movable if and when that time comes. But that wouldn't spend the whole grant, but I'd have to look into what those grant parameters are.
One of them is accessibility. One of them includes that, so.
Which could
Which would
cover
be the
like
rent.
that range.
Okay, I got nothing else.
Okay, so,
I built up on that building at all.
What was your question?
Any ice buildup?
On the roof?
If there's enough heat loss, you have like
Yeah,
the
that's
foot
what I-
gutters on it,
That's what I saw the other
you're
day.
almost creating yourself
Yeah.
more problems. So just keep that in mind.
Heated gutters.
So we want to leave their buildings and grounds at 5,000?
Until we get some estimates. Yeah.
Can I interrupt for 1 minute? Are you gonna come back to anything here, or can I leave and cook my kids' supper?
Yeah.
I just didn't know if like at the end, you were like, okay, this is what
Oh.
we're at, and we want to
No.
go back to a section.
No.
Okay.
No, just like the initial review.
This is,
Okay,
Yep.
perfect, thank you.
Can I ask one more question then before you leave?
I don't know, using up all your questions.
How many librarians have we had in the last 5 years?
I would have to count.
It's been several.
It has been several. Yeah.
Not that I spend any time over it, but that's, I was just asking the question because it's.
A change in administrative.
Yeah. And it's all over.
okay.
Arena?
Moving on to the arena.
Just the building there, probably not.
The arena brings in the most revenue of us all the other departments. Yep, bye. Thanks for coming. So ice rental, they did raise the rates, or you're planning on raising rates again next year?
We did this year.
So you just did them this year, so to be more in line with the new rate rentals, ice rental rates, we upped that $5,000. Skate program's the same at 20. Turf rental is down 1,500, it's minimally used. Facility rental's the same at 12,000. Fall programs are the same at 2,000. Winter programs are upped from 500 to 2,000. And that's, basketball's popular. They've got a couple other winter sports. Actually, did you do what else did you do? There was something last year in the winter that was quite popular. Maybe it was a special hockey thing. Oh, I don't remember.
For you.
Spring programs are the same. Summer programs are upped by $500. Advertising is upped by $2,500. Donations we don't budget for. Live Barn is a small stipend we receive for all the subscriptions. And it's quarterly. Little League, we are losing as a program. It is going to the Northwest Little League board, and they will be managing it from themselves, taking us out of that loop.
Can I just
Yeah,
touch on that?
please do.
So,
That's why I asked you here.
so we both,
You want to sit up in the front row so we can all hear you? Ty,
how are you? A little hoarse right now.
I can't hear.
So in the past, we've always had to pay Northwest Little League for the insurance for the players, coaches. Historically, we take it back over because they used to have.
Just a few years ago.
We took it back over for a handful of reasons. Now Northwest Little League says it has to go back the way it was. So we can no longer collect the registration fees. They will be reimbursing us for,
Field, basically.
yeah, so like our chalk, our paint, they're gonna be purchasing like new balls and stuff like that, so we don't have to anymore. So we lost the revenue. We're hoping to minimize the expense side of it. I mean, we're still remowing, we're still gonna be doing that stuff, but unfortunately, we did lose the revenue side of it. Hopefully it runs smoothly and we won't see a change in the experience for the players and coaches. So we put a lot of money into our fields the last few years. We've worked hard to keep them up. We still got more to do. 2 dugouts that we intend on doing right off this spring. We wanted to get to them last year. Didn't happen. It's the farm league field. That's really the little league deal. Why we no longer have it.
So we're not in control of it, but it will still take place.
Correct.
Skate sharpening. They brought in $6,872 last year, and they're already at $2,600 this year, so we did up that to be more in line with what they're bringing in, $6,000. Same for the Howie's hockey merchandise, $8,000, and the Pro Shop skate rentals at $4,000. Asking the taxpayers for $167,950, which is $3,061 more than last year. The facility wages are up 4%, except the Pro Shop high school wages will just stay at minimum wage. And then Social Security and Medicare, child care contribution tax, unemployment, dental health, all in relation to, same with retirement, workers' comp, to those salaries and out of our control. Buildings and grounds, $30,000. They basically added another $10,000 for the parks piece of the buildings and grounds. Natural gas is down $2,000 to $18,000, more in line with what they're spending. Propane was good at $4,000. Diesel and gas, they spend minimally on their mowers. We kept it at $500. Electricity, $40,000 to be more in line with what they spent. That's the same as all the last couple of years. Communications, we upped by $500, and I think they'll use it. They've been using it, but I think also rewiring, you got some rewiring to do with Jess's office or anything with Matt?
Communication.
Yeah.
Yes, so we got a little bit with that.
Yeah, we got some things to do with. Zamboni is causing some problems lately, so we did up that $10,000 so we can keep that on the ice and keep the ice clean.
Just gotta text them out.
That is
Again,
So when is that due to be replaced?
not
as
for a
soon as
while.
possible. And it's kind of like a fire truck. It's not like you can just order one and get it within a month or two. It's a long lead time. So that's something that we ramped up in our CIP, obviously, and the intention is to get one ordered as soon as we can. I mean, we put a new engine in it 5, 6, 7 years, just before COVID, a couple years before COVID. We're gonna, this extra 10 is basically to just go right through it again, not necessarily more, but everything else, to get it that extra year and to 2 that it would take to get this new machine in.
So you're saying about 2 years, you should have a,
I mean, we can't order it until, if say we were to order one July 1st of next year, that's 9 months, 6 months.
When is it scheduled in the CIP?
I think the year after.
okay.
Thought we were trying to find out 2030.
Yeah, it was a ways out.
It was a ways out, and we're front loading it as best we can at this point. The last 2 years was just been creating problem after problem.
So you don't think it'll make it to 2030?
No, not without putting significant money into it. And at that point, we're kind of kicking it down the road even further. The conditioner, I mean, we want to go through all the bearings again, the conditioner, that conditioner, it's a 2000-ish machine, 98 to 2000, somewhere in there.
2032.
Is what the original replacement was.
Well, that's
Yeah.
CIP just got it, yeah, 2032, yeah.
We should have adjusted that this year, and we didn't. I think that's something we had said like 2 years ago. So that, shame on us for not adjusting the year, I guess, but we did ramp it up a lot. But we definitely need to get one ordered.
Well, he's looking at last year's book.
That's last year's,
We
yeah.
can up the year to go into this year's.
Okay, yes, I would. Year to two.
28,
So like to
2028.
27, 28, it doesn't matter. It just needs to happen as soon as we can.
Yeah, but if you don't have the funding there, it goes a big line items in the CIP.
I mean, we upped it to what, 40 this year?
A lot less.
No, yeah.
We're just under, I think we're doing 15, so.
Is there any grants available for that?
We've started to poke around at that. Haven't found one.
30,000
We're
this
working on
year.
it. We're working through grants for rec.
And we're also looking at there's obviously different ones out there now. It used to be just the two, Olympia and Zamboni, and now there's more options and fairly local rinks that are using other options that they seem very happy with, so we're looking into those as well.
The problem with buying a used Zamboni is if it came from a municipality, it's in the same shape or worse than ours. If it came from a big rink, college or something, by the time they're getting rid of it, it was their second or third backup to making the sheet of ice. So it's in the same shape as well.
How much is new Zamboni?
I'm not putting a number right now.
Okay.
We're in the process of getting some quotes for not just, like I said, Zamboni, but multiple other options.
Right now with the CIP, you add up what we've got scheduled for you, and FY '28, you'll have 118,000.
Not enough.
We need more. What did we put for a number in there?
I thought 250.
Yeah, 250.
That's plenty from what I've gathered.
That was the ballpark from a year or two ago, 250.
We should be.
From by the time we go to buy it.
What about certified used?
No such thing. Okay. I think Ty just clarified.
Certified used, though, big difference.
Keeping it?
What's
Keeping
that?
it the same? Keeping it at 20,000? So they can keep the Zamboni on the ice?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Upgrades and improvements, staying the same at 30,000. Their service contract agreements, 30,000, is upped from 20,000. They did just re-sign with Train, and that's an expensive one. And was there another reason?
CSI, there's another one for our yearly maintenance on all the heaters.
Yeah, that went up minimally.
Very, yeah. Very minimal. The Train was the one that.
The Train was a big one. That was almost 10,000 itself. I think it was 8,000, just under. Advertising is down 2,000. They're really only spending on advertising when a board needs to be repaired or replaced. Because the initial setup, if someone is purchasing advertising, they're paying for their own initial. General supplies is the same at $13,500. Professional development, $4,000, and that is to send somebody to ice making school.
The hope is to have our current employee to be able to do that. We haven't had that luxury, one staying, so.
Right.
We're very happy with the one we have now. Hopefully he'll stick it out with us and we can send him to that school.
Good. They don't use postage, and they know where to get it if they need it. Summer programs is staying the same, 3,000. Fall programs is staying the same at 4,000. Winter programs is getting bumped up, 5,500. And that's, I would say, mostly men's league because you've upped what you pay your referees.
Correct.
So they're also taking it in on their revenue side too. Their winter program should have been upped to cover that additional expense. Spring programs is the same at 2,000. MERC grant is what they are using right now this fiscal year for their improvements. And then they've got a couple tractors, all at a little bit higher for their blades, oil changes, and maintenance. One more zero turn here, 1,000, just regular maintenance money. And passive insurance, I don't have that quote, I'm guesstimating. Life insurance, short-term disability is the same. Little League, like we said, we are losing it, but we will have some field maintenance, so we did keep $1,000 in there, which we will be reimbursed for later on. Travel expenses at $1,000. I know Jess goes to a couple of conferences. And Pro Shop supplies at $10,000. $2,000 more than last year. They've done a very good job in that Pro Shop. So total rink budget, $415,700, which is a change of $11,561 more than last year. However, they are only asking the taxpayers for $3,061 more than last year. I will, questions, comments, changes?
Good work as usual.
I try, and they try even more, so can't do it without them. The next couple of pages are out of our control, but I'll just briefly read them as they are part of the total budget. We have a reappraisal fund, which we will be using very shortly with our townwide reappraisal. So the state does give us a little bit of money every year to fund that for when they force us to do it. Preservation fund is recording money that comes in from recording, so it's not taxpayer dollars, but it does pay for all of our vault supplies, digitizing all of our maps and land records, and our computer website. So that the preservation and the computerization are all funded by recording fees. Oh, and it pays for our online land record software and the mapping software. And then your capital reserve fund is after that, which we went over at the last select board meeting. So we're going to relive that. And that is it. Questions, comments, concerns? Changes? Make sure I didn't miss any notes. So yes, as presented, I said it in the beginning, but I will say it one more time. This tax bill that everyone just paid, hopefully, they paid a municipal tax rate of 0.5378. And if everything was to pass as is, as we just went over, it would be a proposed municipal tax rate of 0.5528. Notes-wise, I think we went over all of that. Yep, I hit everything, so.
Did we include, like, increasing our security cameras in the building in any of this?
Yeah, she talked about it.
In the buildings and grounds.
Yeah.
She talked about
Yeah,
it.
she talked about that.
Okay, understood.
I know that there was previous conversations about, with the county sheriff's office, like how many hours you want. Right now we get 40 hours a week of coverage, which is 5 out of 7 days. We get 8 hours. typically. It depends on what day we get, but that is, I've talked with the sheriff, and basically, if you want more hours, basically it's like, you can either pay for like what would be a whole nother person.
Are we gonna renegotiate a contract in 2 weeks?
No, but I'm
Okay.
just giving you.
Just making sure.
I'm not having anything in particular, but particularly if you want more hours, you can, basically the long-term conversation of it is, it's based on each individual that they can hire. So if you wanted 20 more hours a week, we would probably have a conversation with other towns who are also contracted with Freaking County who wanted to also increase their hours to cover that extra 20 so they have enough to hire another person. Long another story, but basically it's based on like, you want another 40 hours? Do you want like, how many hours do you want? And then can you get it from other towns to collectively get one more person? But I know that was a conversation we had.
So we're in year 2 of a 3-year.
Right.
I think so, yeah.
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 So I always do this every year because I'm a numbers guy. I think everybody did a great job getting to this budget. Some things are up, some things are down. My goal is always to try and keep this, and I think everybody's goal in this town is to keep the taxes down and try and keep them under the cost of living adjustment and the consumer price index. I just looked it up. The cost of living adjustment for 2025 is going to end at about 2.5%. And the consumer price index is going to end up at 2.7. When I did the math on what Shelley just put out, we're at 2.7 increase. So we're right there. And that's without ARPA and all the other free stuff we had over the last 5 years. So I think that's pretty remarkable that we stayed within basically the inflationary rate. Would have liked to have been lower, always lower a little bit for bragging rights, but I think it's pretty good.
Gonna do this.
Yeah, next year.
Maybe.
But actually, you guys helped it a lot with the fire truck. Right? It wasn't really reflected in this, but it's to be reflected next year, I think, right? By saving money on that tanker.
Oh, I mean, it'll be reflected in the future, all the future, yeah.
When we do put this truck, the tanker out for bid, how are you gonna wanna do that?
Well,
What's our policy?
We'll have to see how we did it the last time.
but I thought you talked about,
Well, that's also a possibility.
I think, this is my feeling, Gary, if you can get that kind of money that he said in New Hampshire, sell it.
Okay,
You know, and I don't think the board's gonna have any, if we're gonna around here get $2,000 for it, and you're gonna get 7 in New Hampshire, send it to New
I
Hampshire.
just wanna make sure that we're all on the same.
I've got a fire truck to New Hampshire for sale, right? Like
What?
the post? to New
No,
Hampshire?
there's a guy on the fire department that works down that way for landscaping and stuff, and they buy those kinds of trucks.
And just
Yeah.
redoes them for landscape.
Yeah.
I see what you're
Apparently,
saying.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta put it out.
Exactly, you gotta do
Like,
the
put it out to bid and make sure they know that it's out to bid.
Right,
Don't just sell it. That's how you get your,
We gotta follow the procedure of the town.
right.
We just wanna make sure we're all on the same page on how we're gonna do this.
Put it out to bid,
Yeah.
Yeah, put it out to bid.
And
to include New Hampshire.
Include them in the
Yeah.
bid.
Let's get the other truck here first.
yeah, that's
Right, yeah.
So I guess if the only changes that you are wanting to move forward in making are payroll and or personnel related, then
Yep.
we can move on so we can get out of here?
Yep.
Is that? Yes?
Yeah.
That you're all in agreement that this is moving forward other than maybe some personnel or payroll changes?
We'll see what the library comes back with, quotes for the work in the library.
I don't think that's gonna happen before we're done.
Okay, well, quotes.
Maybe next year.
All right.
I don't. Like, we're on time crunch. This isn't the time to be getting quotes. They should have done that before we budgeted. You can up it so they have some money to play with.
Okay. We'll think about it.
Yeah. But
Okay.
it just takes time to get those bids back, and I don't see that happening before this goes to the print.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So, if you want, that's why I thought you were gonna, like, I thought there was gonna be some conversation and it was gonna get raised a little bit. No.
Yeah. I brought it up.
I also don't, I think
Building needs maintenance and,
they've got some wiggle room for
Yeah.
paint job and door jams and,
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Moving on?
Moving on.
Okay.
Henry got something.
I got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
One of them was, how's the Lister situation going, being farmed out? Is that going well?
It's going. I mean, I only deal with him one time during the whole year, and that's tax time. So the real person to ask is not here.
Okay.
She deals with him for all of the property transfers, and then when they're coming back, Carolyn's dealing with him on uploading things to the GIS
Yeah.
and the mapping and the zoning. So Carolyn and Wendy have more of the day-to-day, and then I'm very July to November. And that's it. That's all I deal with Spencer.
I did briefly talk to Wendy about that, and she felt it was going well. And based on our townwide appraisal coming up, I think we'd be too dangerous to make any changes at this time.
Well, I'm not asking for any changes.
Yeah, no,
I definitely struggle to get a hold of him.
What's that?
I said I definitely struggle to get a hold of him sometimes.
He is older. He does answer emails in the morning. You're not going to get a response at 3 in the afternoon. It's probably nap time. But other than that, there's no emergencies in our jobs.
Yep.
None. Nothing that can't wait 1 day or 24 hours.
Right.
So, yeah, he is an early morning email reader. So we do tell people that.
Yep.
Here's his number. He will get back to you, but probably tomorrow.
Yeah. Next question was about dirt roads. So I know a lot of things that we've had trouble with is keeping the snow on roads. So back in the day when I was on the board, we had help from Randy Reed, and there was a few other gentlemen. I don't remember if they were from VLCT or where they were from exactly. But they would have information for us on different situations on roads. So I guess my question is, are you guys reaching out at all to try to find ways so that we can kind of maintain our dirt roads and actually keep them rather than having the stone get pushed off to the side and being ground away basically?
I defer that to Luke.
He left?
I know.
Where's
Luke?
Nick did work on that a bit when he was.
I think, you know what, Henry? I think our dirt roads right now, you ride around Franklin County, and Highgate's got the best dirt roads around.
I'm not complaining about our dirt roads.
You know,
I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, I think over the last 5-6 years, I think our roads have been maintained. Butch did a great job with them, and you know, and I think the dirt, you know, I don't think they're putting a lot of dirt, a lot of stone on them, but.
What I'm saying is, what we are putting on is wearing away.
Right.
One attempt was that we doubled the chloride budget last year.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's helped. We're not lining the fields anymore, or less. You know, because we were getting that wear in that hot summer weather.
Yep.
When they get dusty and you watch them clouds of dust, that's just tons of stone leaving.
Because there's got to be a way to bind, to me, a harder stone, but get it to bind on the road somehow. And I'm just wondering if there's ways to reach out to these different people that probably have that answer or some answers.
And just to go a little further with that, so we're going to be going into spring with 0 grader experience. So are there any classes that we RPD can look into.
Pretty sure there's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not.
You know, I'm not saying they might be able to jump on it, but I guess from my knowledge, there's tricks and that kind of stuff to.
So I think that's a good idea, Scott. You guys, and Henry brought it up right now. I think if there's classes, I don't imagine they're free.
I don't.
You know, so is that something we need to budget in the highway department? You know?
It's something we probably ought to look into.
Because
we're gonna
what-
spring
Yeah.
here
Yep.
with no experienced grader operators.
I think that's something we ought to look into.
I think we should look into it like this winter to get.
Yeah.
They won't call much out of retirement. They might have to call much out of retirement. Do some training, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, Richard, if we ought to be budgeting, I have no clue.
You know,
my recollection is it wasn't big dollars for,
So I'm thinking that
Okay.
anything.
yeah. That's my recollection, but it's been a long time.
but everything's gone up since.
Yeah, and I seen some of that was available through VLCT, if I remember.
So that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking too.
I mean, they do the flagger training,
Right,
so
Yeah.
I would assume
right.
they have to.
But I think, to go on that, Scott, I think there's always opportunity for us to learn, even if we did have some experience.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think
Yes.
best practice changes.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, we're going to go from also, if we put Luke in the grader, we're going to have inexperienced guys on the mower doing side pitch mowings.
Yeah.
It'll be a very interesting spring, summer.
Yeah.
So are the people that are being looked at to be hired have any experience?
Not on the grading.
Not on the
Not
grade.
on
Not grading, not on mowing. Nor does the existing staff besides Luke. Cody's, I've never,
No.
been here 2 years, I ain't seen him in a mower.
No, I've only seen Luke.
So right now, looks like we got nothing in professional development for public works, is that correct?
Because again, if they do anything, it's usually free.
Okay.
So you're suggesting that you just leave it as it is?
I wouldn't even know how much, and if it's a minimal cost, yeah, I probably
That's my
would just leave it. I would,
Yeah.
if it's a VLCT program, it's gonna be minimal.
Okay.
I'm not sure I would bother trying to guesstimate what that cost would be.
Right.
When we're ready to send someone, we'll know.
Right. Okay.
I think it'll be good. Is that it, Henry?
And my last question is, what select board members are due up for re-election this year, and is everybody ready?
Chad is up
This
for
empty seat
election.
is, yeah.
All the rest of us are 27, I think.
Plus 3 are 27.
Yeah.
I'll be stepping down tonight.
You will be stepping down.
I don't think Chad has specifically said anything about.
He told me he's told
Yeah,
me
he's staying.
he's staying.
Okay. I just didn't hear.
Thank you for your service.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay,
we're gonna
moving on.
close the budgeting
We got
chapter.
43 minutes.
Yep, that's it.
We got some more stuff.
Anyone that wants to leave, now's your time.
Okay, there we go.
Have a good Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
If he's willing.
Scott, you want to stay?
This is something that I had
Oh,
on
yeah,
the table
yeah.
for you guys at your last, maybe a special meeting, but the new truck has an extended warranty that they
And
can't
he
work
wasn't here,
on.
so I didn't sign.
Oh, okay, well, I don't care who signs it, I just need a signature.
You weren't here, so I didn't sign it.
Gotta ask Luke about the mileage. And then,
Can I see a copy of that? I'll get a copy of that when you're done.
that's not the extended warranty, that's signing for Charlie Boys to do the work about the extended
Because
warranty.
I know the son had a problem with traffic.
But I do have it in
And I
my,
asked if we had warranty on it, and nobody had a clue whether that tractor was still warranted or
I
not.
got all the paperwork in my office.
Yeah, she will see.
Most of the
I
time.
don't let them keep anything over there.
Wasn't too much.
I'm used to it. That's why we're closed on Fridays. It's the one day of no interruptions and we can get things done. Thank you very much. Get that work done and then, did I just give it to you?
Yep.
So check warrant's right here, actually.
Make a motion to accept the check warrant.
Second.
All those in favor?
Alright.
And those are the only two things I had for you. So in that check warrant is the check for the fire truck. And it will be going out UPS. They do not want it mailed USPS.
I do not.
I don't either. So I will be mailing that UPS and giving them the tracking number so they can track it alongside with us.
Mail is formal.
Yep. And that is it for me, but I will stick around for some executive talk.
For the, yes.
So that's me.
Yep, great.
So last time we met, you guys gave thumbs up for the Casella lease extension addendum, which is a 6-month lease extension addendum. You did already vote on that, but I did bring it in person for you to sign because we got everybody legal good back and forth. Same terms as expected, and it should have been in your emails this week.
Correct.
Yep, I saw it.
Great. I don't have any other comments on that. It's just, once that's signed, I'll scan it in, send it to them, they'll sign whole 9 yards. And then we'll be moving forward with a lease in date for that specific addendum as of June 30, 2026. Last time, and I asked Wendy about this just to make sure that I didn't need anything additional for you guys in terms of, we had that conversation about the village core cleanup and the grant agreements and the loan agreement, the 0% loan that we'll pay in 10 months that we already have planned for the match for. That agreement is being put together, and I just want to make sure that nobody had any additional questions on that. I'm just trying to make sure. So you, okay, I just want to make sure. The motion was for the application, and so when I get that grant agreement and the loan agreement back, I'll either bring it for you to sign or for you to give me the permission to sign those. Those are the same terms as before. Everything is the same, it's just being written up and it'll need to be approved by legal. That's that. And then the last thing that came up in this past week was that we finally got the final draft of the water feasibility study. It's not complete. So basically what happens right now is that A&E will be taking, who did the water feasibility study for us, will be taking final comments from the town in regards to the feasibility study, whole 9 yards of that. You received that along with a very nice, very wordy staff report. And so basically, in terms of decisions, there's basically 2 options that the feasibility report has determined are feasible. One would be to create a new community water source, which is a well system that would be treated and pumped. And the other one would be to extend the airport line into the village core. Both of those have the first option, option A, creating a new community water source, has a very expansive cost estimate because construction costs vary, and then also depends on how long you want the lines, how many, all the whole 9 yards of that. And then option B is pretty well kind of tended towards about $16 million based on the current pricing for water infrastructure. So I have kind of done my due diligence and had conversations already about all of the fun things that are in this report. And basically, the kind of decision, so we had a conversation and a decision about pursuing a community well source, but basically at this point, I want to prepare you for, I will be getting cost estimates to do the hydrogeology, which is such a fun word. Hydrogeology, basically testing. If you guys are not opposed to exploring the option A of the new community well water source, I will be getting those kind of quotes information for the next select board meeting, and then hopefully we can do that as quickly as possible, because if the sources that are identified in the feasibility study are just a no-go after the initial testing, then we'll have a longer conversation about everything after that. But we got to test those sites first to make sure that they are actually as feasible as we expect them to be. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Is that?
Do you need them to make a motion for something?
I think that we'll be back in select board prior to any kind of like needing to pay for anything. I think that I will be getting costs. Like clear cost of what a hydrogeologist would look like, and seeing what that may do for us.
Okay.
So I don't think I need a specific motion, but I do need the next couple weeks for you guys to just digest everything, and then B, if you have any comments now about the report that you've already received, any of that, that's what I kind of need from you right now.
That report on the website?
It's not a final yet.
Okay.
When it becomes finalized, it'll be public, yeah. It is 375 pages at the moment.
Great.
I would say the first 30, there's about 40 total pages that are not referencing state guidelines, permitting, previous feasibility studies that noted where different wells were, different water well testing. In the report, you'll notice that there is contaminated groundwater in the village core, which is an issue. It is an issue, but it also poses some positive trends in our grant abilities. Because if it's contaminated, we are higher on the priority list to receive grant funds for a water project. But yeah, so some of that is a little bit out of date because we are referring to previous studies done since 2017 or so. Anything between 2017 and now is referenced in the feasibility study. And then some of the costs that are predicted out are also referring to they aren't taking into consideration our existing grants that we have in place, and they aren't taking into consideration if you so choose if you use the same engineering firm, that cost may be cut because then you don't have to dig the lines multiple times and you've already done some of the testing, and some of that engineering is already kind of done in-house. There's a lot of different options, but yeah. Did I answer everything?
I'm glazed over. Sorry, I'm on budget only right now.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock, it's bedtime.
I know, do I sound like the Peanuts parents to you sometimes? That's okay. But again, it's just bringing you guys, we'll take this also to PC, we'll take it to Planning Commission. The next Planning Commission meeting, we're working on wastewater ordinance, and then some other water stuff. But I will come back to you with some more fiscal stuff regarding your bigger projects. And then, yeah, but if you guys had any other questions regarding any of that, now would probably be the time to kind of go over that.
I'm good at this time.
Good right now.
I'm good.
Great. That's it for me.
Awesome.
So after this, if we need to discuss specific personnel and contracts and employment, Regarding Public Works for budget, I think that you would need to just motion to enter into executive, invite Shelley, me, maybe Scott. Yeah, I think that's where we're at, and then we can be good. Do you have anything else before we go into executive?
As I said not too long ago, I'm stepping down after this meeting, so this is my last meeting. It's been an experience, we'll say that. But I've got a lot going on in my personal life, and this has gotten to be too much. So something has to give, and this unfortunately is it.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for stepping up.
Thank you, Ben.
So can I get a motion to exit the regular session?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the motion to enter executive with Shelley, Freddie, and
Scott.
Scott.
Okay.